Hi, my name is Pop. I'm making a video tutorial in Ubuntu Basics showing how you can use a Worlds of Warcraft mouse in Ubuntu. You can see how it lights up right here. You can get these free at any large city in the United States. Just go to a 12-step program and they will have a cardboard box full of these things after they have successfully treated people who are now going back to law school, dental school, or pharmacy school. I want to run this thing through its paces. First of all, don't do what I did. I thought it was like this. See, that's upside down. It's got no labels on the buttons, and there are so many buttons on here, and you only get 7 of them with Ubuntu Linux. And I'll show you which ones they are. This is button 1. The wheel right here, when you press down on it, don't roll it, just press down on it. That's button 2. This is button 3. You've also got some additional buttons. Here's one. It doesn't work. Here's one. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And although these things look like buttons, they're just decoration. They don't do anything. On this side, there's another button. It doesn't work. When you roll the wheel, that's 4 and 5. I'll go over these again. 1. Push down on the wheel is 2. 3. 4. 5. The rest of them don't work. On this side, you've got a multi-controller at the bottom. It's all directions. It's sort of like, oh gosh, what would you call it? One of those game controllers. I guess it's for shooting people and stuff. And then this is 9 and this is 8, and those work. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9, and that's all you get. You can get 7 buttons on your trackpad, also your touchpad on a laptop, and those consist of 1, 3, and if you press these down simultaneously with 2 fingers, that's 2. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5, and then right here you'll go back and forth, and that would be 6 and 7. And I'm going to demonstrate that. I'll terminate this recording and switch over to recording with other than this video camera. Here I am back, this time on Unity using Screencastor to record the screen, and I'm going to demonstrate with Compiz what's cooking. I want to review briefly. In a prior video I showed how you could use specific zoom levels, Alt 5, 6, and 7. Alt 5 brings you back to this kind of screen right here. Alt 6 will enlarge the screen such that if you have got a window that is 1/4 of a screen in size, when you hit Alt 6 it will enlarge that quarter window size screen to the size of the full screen. And this goes even beyond it, 7. And I invite you to look at that other video. I cannot demonstrate it using Compiz right here because Compiz for some reason will not conform to the quarter size screen business. I think that is because Compiz is written in some other manner which does not allow you to produce quarter size windows. Perhaps it's KDE, I do not know. So instead I'm going to just open up here the home folder, which is a regular Nautilus window, and this is exactly 1/4 of a screen in size, and I am using Compiz to move it around. I'm using the 10 key and I told it to use Control Alt and then the numbers on the 10 key. This is 9 and every time you touch 9 it gets to a different size in that location. So here I am 9 and it is a quarter of a screen. 7, 1, 3. If I want to, I can now use this business of Alt 5, 6, and 7 to zoom in on that quarter size window, and I'm hitting Alt 6 and you see how it fills the screen. Alt 5, it goes back, and it'll just stay there, and you can zoom in on it and work with it and demonstrate it if you're doing a screencast. If you want to go beyond that and enlarge it even more, 7 will enlarge it even more, but again that makes it larger than the boundaries of everything showing. So 6 shows the whole window as though it were a whole screen, and then 5 brings it back again. And I invite you to do that, to look at the other video to see that. And the Alt 5, I bring it back to 1. That's where I put in 1 right here. And Alt 6, I changed that to a 0.5. And then here I went even bigger. Okay, what we're going to do today now is I'm going over here to zoom in and out, and what I did there is I gave it a keyboard command to enlarge, and I also gave it the command to use the trackpad or mouse. Now this is a bit confusing. The F6 is above the 6, so I just went ahead and stuck with that. And oh gee, I should have used 5 here, right? I should have used 5 here, because 5 is the thing that brings it back. Well, I kind of painted myself into a corner, and that's what happens when you're goofing with a computer. You'll start doing something, and then you'll add to it, and then you'll add to it, and you'll say, well, gee whiz, I should have been more consistent. But you can change these numbers to anything that you want to. So I've got Alt F6, and that's going to enlarge. Let me go down here and we'll try it out, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alt F6. Well, first of all, Alt 6, right? Fills the screen. Alt 5 brings it back. Okay, the F6 is above the 6, and look, it enlarges it, but it does not zoom in onto that window. And every time I hit F6, it gets bigger. And you'll have to use the mouse to move it around. And the 7 brings it back. Well, that's fine. I'm using the keys of the keyboard, but you can use your touchpad, your trackpad, or the mouse. Now remember, I told you the World of Warcraft mouse has 1 through 5, and then on the side it was 8 and 9. Well, that's just the button numbers, 8 and 9, when you find the number with XEV. And I have a prior video that shows how to use XEV. I am going to briefly just open up a terminal, and I'll show you how that works again. Here's a terminal, and all you do is type in XEV, and as soon as you hit enter, another little window will show up, and you see it down there. That's the event tester. And if you put your cursor inside that little box, anything you do with your mouse is going to show up in the terminal, and it'll tell you what button. So I'm going to hit button 1, and now I want you to look at the second paragraph from the bottom, and in the middle there you'll see where it says button 1. Now I'm going to tap button 3. That's the right button on the trackpad, and see that's button 3. Okay, what about if I hit both of them simultaneously? So I'm going to put my index fingers on each one, and I'm going to try to tap them both simultaneously. And there, that's button 2. Well, 4 and 5 is more complicated, because on the touchpad, that's going to be that vertical line that goes up and down on the trackpad. It's usually printed on the trackpad, but on some laptops it's not. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm pulling my finger down and I see button 5. I'm pushing my finger up, I see button 4. Above the two buttons on the bottom, buttons 1 and 3, you have to have, well, use your imagination, a horizontal line. And this is hard to find because you got to find where in the heck that is. And so I'm going to put my index finger above button 1, and I'm just moving it to the right. Shoot, I don't see it. I just cannot find. There. Now see, it worked. I zoomed in. Now I'm bringing it back. I zoomed out. It works as you are testing it. Well, it's very tricky. You can do it. I'm turning off XEV. This is so confusing because there are 7 buttons and 7 buttons max you can use on this Worlds of Warcraft mouse. The other buttons on them require drivers, and Ubuntu Linux could use these buttons, but somebody's got to write a driver for them, and right now it just doesn't work. I've searched the web. I cannot find it. If anybody knows, we would like to know. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 8 and 9, but 8 and 9 are actually 6 and 7, and that's why up here in Compiz I called them 6 and 7. I could have, called them something else. In fact, if you go up here and you right click this, wait a minute, not right click it, yeah, I'm just tapping on it, and you go down here where it says button 6. Now look at all that are available. Compiz will allow you to do it, so will Ubuntu, so will Linux, but it's just that the driver is required for this World of Warcraft mouse, and nobody's written one, so you can't use it. I hope this was not too confusing. My name is Pup, and I have a whole bunch of videos on YouTube called Ubuntu Basics, and I thank you very, very much for watching.